Hello everyone and welcome to Space Engineers. I thought I'd do something a little bit different on the channel, and I'm going to play a little bit of Space Engineers. I'm going to do something a little bit different to what most people do, and I'm going to do an Earth-based mining system, but I'm not going to use any cargo containers in any of the transport rovers that I make to transport the goods. I'm going to do it all as loose objects. So we'll give this world a name, and we'll call it Earth. Hopefully we spell it right. Mining Inc. And it's object-based mining. And we want it to be in survival mode, offline, and we'll go into the advanced settings and set it. I won't adjust any of these. Normally when I play, I normally have everything on realistic, but that would just take far too long to do anything and try and record it for videos for YouTube. So we'll skip over that, and I dislike the arcade sound, so we'll go for realistic. Okay. Hours in a day, we want to go for 8 hours. That's 4 hours of sun and 4 hours of dark. Maximum number of objects, we want to turn that all the way up to full. And animals we want to turn down. We don't want to have any block limits. Okay, auto healing must turn off. We want scripts on. These are all correct so far. Oxygen. Unsupported stations. And everything else looks like it's correct there. And now we'll put in some mods. And most of the mods that I use here are nearly all for quality of life. They don't actually change the blocks in the game. They pretty much just change how the game works a little bit, and these have to be in a specific order like most mods, so we'll put them in. And we've got the text HUD API that allows some of the text to appear on screen, and it's part, I need it for the HUD compass. The next one is some colourful icons, because the standard icons look terrible and they're so much easier to see what's what when you've got the coloured icons in there. And we want the HUD compass. And another one I like to play with is the Awwscrap, so that when you grind something down, you don't get the actual parts back for it, you only get scrap. And then you've got to reprocess that scrap, and there's actually a diminishing return on how much you get from it. Now the next one we want to do is we want to nerf the suit. That way you can still actually use the jetpack on a planet, but it is very underpowered and it uses an extreme amount of hydrogen to try and fly with it. And then the next one is, and because we're on YouTube, we'll put in some sneaky sounds, otherwise everyone will get their brains rattled by drills. Okay, the next one is Space Just Got Real. This gives realistic lighting, and especially for night time, dark is dark. Dark is very dark. The next one is Paint Gun. Now this is something that they need to put in the base game. It gives you a spray gun for painting your blocks, and it allows you to paint blocks that are under blocks, and it also allows you to paint textures and colours, and it uses stone as a material to make paint, and you actually have to use up stone. Okay, and the next one we want is the concrete tool. And what this one here does is this allows you to place voxels in survival. Very, very handy, but it only allows you to place actual concrete. And then there's a second one, which is the soil tool. does pretty much exactly the same thing, but it allows you to place other types of voxels like soil and rock, and so that you can do repairs on areas and flatten areas out so that your roads and things work better. Okay, then the next one we want to put in is the light block improvement. And what this one here does is it puts a control panel on every single light block. So instead of needing to try and find out which light it is through the control panel, you can actually walk up to the light and adjust it, any settings for that light at the actual light itself. Okay, and the next one we want, because we've got the extreme nighttime with the space just got real, high-powered spotlights, and also the offset ones as well. They've been split into two separate mods now. That way we have actually got lights that we can use at night time instead of the base one, the vanilla ones, which have got a very poor output and they really need to be upped. Okay, then the next one we want to put in is eat, drink and sleep. Now this adds food, water and rest, or a stamina, to the game. And there's a second part of that one, so that you can actually get your food, and it's plant and cook. And well, these two together, for me, they integrate the best into the game and have the most vanilla feel to them. There's a couple of extra ones that add food and water into the game, a couple of mods that do it, but I find this one here the best. Okay, and we will add in the planetary derelict so that the map isn't completely bare of just with nothing on it. And the last one to add on is some Earth-like animals, so that we've got basically it adds the animals from medieval engineers so that we can hunt them for meat, so that we can cook them. And that should be everything on the list that we need to put in. And I'm not going to put in any of these MES, the modular encounter system, because I'm not after a PvE type planet. I'm more so doing this for the mining. Right, we'll click OK, and everything looks right there, and we'll give it a start. Yes, it'll take a while to load for the first time because we need to generate a world. Okay, and we'll take an Earth-like drop pod, and away we go. Now, depending on where we land here in the world, this could be easy to start or it could be hard to start, because we're unable to... Let's have a look around and see where we're going to land. And it doesn't really look too bad. But I hope our parachute opens soon, because we're getting very close to the ground. And there we go. And I do think we're going to have to move from here. This is quite hilly. At least we're not in a terrible start location like we could have been in the snow on the mountains, which is very, very hard to get started on when you've got Awwscrap. And oh no, this could be bad. We are rolling down the hill, and none of the landing gears want to lock. And we have ended up upside down. Well, this is not a good start at all. We have finished upside down on the ground. Well, the first thing to do is let's pull out our drill and let's start drilling some ground. Whoop. these first ones that I'm collecting, they're not actually rock because of that mod that we've put in for the eat, drink and sleep. It actually turns these into organic material that you can use in the gardens, in the planters. So they're consumable any of the grass areas at the surface. Which I should have absolutely nothing in here yet. Well, we probably need to try and dig underneath this ship to try and get it to roll over. Oh, wrong button. So we'll crouch down here and we'll try digging down here. See if we can't turn the ship over a little bit to land up on its feet. Oh. Well, almost. Let's try that again, see if we can get it to go one more. Oh, that's better. Did we get a landing gear to lock? No, no landing gear's locked. Right, let's hop in here and we will make sure that everything here shows in the terminal. That way we don't have to go fight for them. Okay, we'll turn the ore detector off for the moment. And these interior lights, they blink and we don't want them blinking, so we'll turn them off. Turn the blink off. And we want the intensity turned down to 4 because 5's just too bright. And we'll make them light up a little bit more. Beacon we don't want on. Alright, did anything lock now? No, we still don't have a lock. Let's see if any of them will actually lock. No, none of them think that they are close enough to the ground. Okay, that's certainly odd. Okay, this is the first time I've encountered something like this. Alright, we'll start digging our way down now and get to some rock. Yes, a lot of digging. And guaranteed, have we even picked up any rock yet? Oh, we've picked up a little bit. And we will need to build a small base here and then tear it down again, because we're going to move from this location to a hopefully somewhere close to some iron and possibly magnesium. So it's a little bit quicker for us to build the bases. There we go, we're full. Dump those in. We'll have some lights. It's starting to get dark in this little hole. And better set up some production. If you hold down Shift and Control, it actually puts in 1,000 at a time, and that makes things go a lot quicker. And we'll also do the same thing with all of these for the parts that we tear down off of the, so that it will turn our scrap, and that's one of the things that's added by the Awwscrap. Turns our scrap back into usable ingots again. And yes, this is the way it always is when you start on Space Engineers. It's a lot of just digging rock. And it takes several loads of rock before you can have enough materials to get started. I don't even think we're even down into the proper rock yet. We're still just digging dirt, but it's not the grassy dirt. Now we're starting to get into the actual rock.
Inventory full.
So I must have too much of something here. So if we look at the chair and press I, it'll go to the inventory. And we've got a little bit of organics. And you can see we've got a few rations of food. And we'll grab that fella there out. And while we're here, we'll go back to our inventory and we'll open this with a right click. And this is a GPS marker to a shop. If we double click on it, it'll show us where it's at. How far away is the shop? It's probably a good idea that when we move, we get a little bit closer to where that shop is, because that will help us get food. Because we can't actually make food until we get seeds first. And generally you've either got to pick them up from the unknown signals. Sometimes they have food or seeds or things in there, or generally you have to buy them from a shop to get them.
Inventory full.
Okay, let's start making our first thing here. Need to make one of those and about 10 of those to start off with. That'll get our base started. You only need to put down a power supply and then a windmill on top of, a windmill and then a
Inventory full.
assembler. We don't even have to worry about the basic refinery to start off with. More mining.
Inventory full.
Yeah, now we're down into the actual stone. It fills up much quicker. And we'll grab those two out. I'll put that back in the seat. Oh, pardon me. And we will grab out this hydrogen bottle. Now, where are we going to put this? Because we're right here in this valley. We'll just put it right here. Oh, we don't need that. 5. And we'll flip it around to face us. Better align it to gravity, I think. Gravity align mode. And all we need is the assembler. And then on top of the assembler, we want to put some of these. And we need to jump and X at the same time. That'll actually get us to fly up because of the weak jetpack. It will not actually let you just take off and fly back down on the ground, and that used a lot of hydrogen just to do that one tiny little jump. We messed up with that one. Alt and middle click to drop everything. And that'll get busy with that. Let's switch back to our folder and jump and fly. And right click on there, so I've got it in the build planner. And then it's shift and middle click, and that puts all the production, all the parts that we need for that into production. And let's go mine some more while it's making the parts.
Inventory full.
Mine a little bit quicker if we crouch down.
Inventory full.
Things are obviously pretty full though. We'll go in here to the production and we will grab this and put it on the end. That way it makes the parts first, and when it runs out, when it can't make any more parts, it'll start processing the stone again.
Inventory full.
It's going to take a little while. While we're doing this, let's have a little look around the ship and see if anything got damaged as we tumbled down the hill. I know one of the landing gears did. And while we're sitting here, we'll also, while we're waiting, we'll grind off some of these bits of the ship because we don't want all this ship on here. It makes it hard to get in and out of. I'll take the roof clean off. Actually gives us a, it's not a real good supply of iron, but it gives us some. Just makes it easier to get in and out of the ship when you don't have the roof on it. Might be easier if we stand up too instead of being crouched. And we might take that one there off as well, and the one underneath him. And that one. Makes it feel a little more open here. And that one. Okay, now things we don't need. Don't want that.
Energy low.
Oh, really? All that grinding used up all the energy. I'll empty our inventory because it sounded like it was finished. There's a few of these parts we don't need. I'll put that back. We don't need the parachute hatch. We don't need the beacon. We don't need this timer block. And we don't need this small... We have to be careful here because we don't want to delete this. You can't delete that, otherwise the chair falls out. Which is kind of silly. And, well, we can grab this light. We don't want that light there, and we don't want this light here. And pretty much everything else we want to stay for the moment. So we'll put the stuff in here. And all components successfully withdrawn. Fly up here and let's build the power. The start welder and the start grinder are so slow. Okay, now we'll right click on that one. And shift and middle click and put all those parts into production for that. Crouch down so we'll actually do some digging.
Inventory full.
And we are going to have to go in here. And fix up this production again because this needs to go on to the end. Instead of being at the start. So it only starts processing rock when we can't make any more parts.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I just gotta wait for it to process some. while it's busy making, I think it's 100 plates. Very thirsty on plates. And yes, all this to build one large tube. While we're crouched down here, we'll have a go at fixing this. Oh, it needs quite a bit. Oh, look at that, we're starting to drop off stuff now. Oh, we're still not out of iron. Getting close though. And just looking at that, our bottle's starting to get a little bit low, so we'll top our bottle up. Not that we really need it topped up because we shouldn't need to do any more flying. I didn't think it could take that. I think I have to put that scrap in the seat. Alright, we'll collect what we can out of there. Build up a bit of it. And now all we're waiting on is all the computers. So we better have a look around here at the sun. And let's see where we are in relation to the sun. So I reckon that direction's south. And that direction's north. And if the sun's on that side, where's east? That's west. Oh, we're going to run out of sun very quickly then, aren't we? Means we should be on the northern hemisphere. And that direction there should be the desert. Which is something very bad. That shop is probably near one of the poles. All components successfully withdrawn. And for some reason we are short some computers. Okay. Now we can grab all the goodies out of here. And bring them over and put them in here. And you as well. And we can actually do a disassemble here. And remove that one block that we don't need. And put it on assembly, and we need to make one of those. Oh, actually, no, we didn't really need to. So we can pull it back a bit so we won't lose any of our stuff from doing that. This landing gear we need to repair, so we'll right click on it. And then shift click here to make the parts. Oh, and of course I've left it on disassembly. Now shift and middle click, all put into production. Because this bit makes parts so much quicker than what the Yeah, did it actually unlock for me? Let's have a look. Yes, it did. Now we can put on the... We'll go back into G and that and put it on the build planner. And we should be able to place it. Now we have to make sure it's facing the correct direction too. Which I'm pretty sure it is, because there's arrows on it that tell you the correct direction. Weld it up. Okay, and then now that we've welded that up, we should have a gyroscope. Oh, before we do that, put it back on gyroscope. Add it to the build planner. Take that. Now we can place it down. Jump up in here. Build up some of it. And this should be nearly everything that we need. One motor. And have we run out of parts? Yes, we've run out of iron. So we'll grab what we've got from here. Put these bits up. Oh, we'll see if we've got enough. Hopefully it is. Yes, looks like it is. We're only 4 short. Okay, we now have got a flyable ship. We can move on. So, we'll take everything back out of here again. Grind it down. Looks like we've got a floater. Something strange going on in the game here. It just will not acknowledge that there was gravity. And deposit all that stuff in the back. Hop into the seat. Press K. Now we should be able to go to the remote control. And hit the control button. Oh, before we do that, escape out of there. We need to put the thrusters into a group. Hold thrust. Save, and we need to put the landing gears into a group. Pod landers. And now we should be able to fly. Now we can go into the G menu, put our groups in. One here for thrusters on and off. One here for switch lock. Back to all blocks, and we'll put that to toggle it on and off, that to toggle it on and off, and the survival kit to toggle it on and off. And our food and water's looking good. Let's change view. Turn on our thrusters. Turn off our lock. And we're away, we're flying. This is a bit like flying a helicopter. You've got to lean it backwards and forwards because we've only got up thrust. So we'll get up a bit of height, lean forward, and away we go. Let's head towards this shop. And well, it says we've got about 26 minutes of flight time. About an hour now that we're not thrusting upwards. It's always fun to try and get this to slow down and stop when you don't actually have brakes or reverse thrust. All you can do is nose pitch it in the air like this and go stop. And there we go, that's brought it down to almost stopped. Oh, isn't this on a nice hill? This will be fun to land. I'll try and get up on top of this little bit of a hill here at the back. This looks reasonably level up here. So we can land it without breaking it. Whoops. And there we go, we landed it. And turn off the thrusters. Unlock and lock. And out we hop. While we're here, we will grab that extra oxygen bottle. We will fix our health because we nearly died. Open cockpit flying at high altitude is not a good thing. And we're also quite thirsty, so we're going to need to grab that wasn't what I wanted. That one, please. Thank you. Now we don't have anything to sell, but that should have brought our water up. And we need to close our helmet, because for some reason at the moment, when you go near these bases, they have like a vacuum around them where there's no oxygen. Somewhere under here will be a way to get in. It's not there. And it's not there. Somewhere will be a ladder. Oh, no, we've got a doorway right at the bottom. And the ladder's inside. That's different. I haven't been in this place before. Yes, this is one I haven't seen before. Oh, bed. I wonder what's in the bed. Nothing. Got anything in here? Another drill. We'll have a free drill. Anything in here? Nothing. Another free drill. The kitchen. Now, if we had any food, we can actually use their kitchen for cooking here. Contracts, the ATM machine. Oh, it's a programmable block. Oh, it appears that there's no shop block here. Either that or I'm blind. But I'm not seeing a shop. Okay, now we've got more upstairs up here. Here we go, here's the vending machine. And the outer coffees. Here's the shop block. This is what we're looking for. And we currently have 10,000. Do we have any food? All they sell is water. They buy a lot of stuff that we can't actually get to them. So we will grab a little bit of water from them. But yes, what a shame, no food. And you can actually grow some food here if you've got all the right ingredients. Let's have a look. Access denied. Which I think that's actually done on purpose with this. With the eat and sleep, it turns off the ability to use the Actually, let's go back to this shop. Where is it? It's upstairs, isn't it? I wonder if they sell data pads, because if they sell data pads, it might have another shop location. No, they don't have any data pads either. Well, that's disappointing. They're all access denied. They get their sleep back up in an instant. Yes, I don't particularly like the layout of this base. It's all over the place. Well, let's get out of here, because there's nothing much worth looking at in there. This shop was no help. Jump off of here. Coast down to the ground. Special content power. Let's run over here and check this out. Maybe we'll find some food in here. Need to open up. Because we're using up our oxygen. This may have some goodies for us. It's on the other side of the hill by the looks of it. Or it's in a ravine. Oh, I can hear it. badger welder. Oh, we're going to push it over. There we go. 2 packets of chips and some money. That had a little bit of stuff in it. Because yes, it's likely I could starve to death if I don't find a good source of food. Which has happened before. I have to work out where we are here. So it's to the south, and the north is that way. That means we've got to be almost at the North Pole. Which we most definitely do not want to build our base here up in these mountains. This would be just too horrible to live up here. So I'll run back down here to the starting pod. We'll have to see how much power we've got left in it. And we'll have to fly ourselves back towards the equator some way. This was not a very helpful shop. Hopefully we'll find another shop later on. Alright, while we're here we will fill everything up. So we've got a lot of stuff here now. Drop off everything it'll let us drop off. And the rest of the stuff we're going to put in the chair. Extra drills, drinks and chips. Okay, K on the remote control. Control. I'll turn them on. Unlock those. And away we go. And we want to fly to the south. Back over these horrible mountains again. Hopefully we don't run out of power before we get to where we need to be. So ideally we need to find somewhere where we can put a base at now. Okay, well, looks like we've found some nickel and silicone here. So what I'll do is I'll press enter, which brings up the chat. I'll type in a command for GPS, SI, and NI, and that'll mark a GPS location for it. Thruster's back on. And we'll fly along here a little bit further and see if we can find anything else. Because I see more black marks up here. Oop, going the wrong way. It's more nickel and silicone. Along here will be a rather nice place because we've got a lake on the other side there. It's a nice green grass, reasonably level. Oh, there was something down there. I just seen it just as we boosted. What was it? Oh, we head over here towards the lake. Hopefully we'll find another dark patch. They have been being kind of hard to spot. There's another one over there, look at that. Over on the banks of the lake. What have we got here? Gold? Perhaps gold and silver? Oh. Stay steady. Okay. And we'll press enter and we'll put another GPS/AU for gold. Try and travel along gently along the ground here. Hoping there'd be silver here as well. So we can't get it. Spot on the base. We are very, very quickly running out of power on this thing. I see another spot up there. This here's another spot. Let's see what's up here. need to find iron. And we have found iron. And this looks like where our base is going to go. Be really good at have that iron and cobalt. That'd be really good. Oh, everywhere else but where we want to go. Crunch. Might lock to the ground yet. Or we might not. There we go. Now we're locked to the ground. And press enter. /GPS. FE. We might turn those off. Land properly. And we'll jump out. And we might go and have a little look around with the drill. Let's see if there was actually more here than just iron. It appears that we have only got iron here. Well, that's okay. Well, we can start to put together the base. And the first thing we're going to need to do is... Oh, we've already got 40 of those. That's helpful. And I'm pretty sure I turned it off, and that's why it's not working. Survival kit, and turn it back on. Because we need it to make some interior plates for us. And we need a few more than that. 20 will do. Alright, let's start putting down a base. I reckon just up the hill here a little bit will work just nicely. Where it starts to level off. Right here. Looks really good to me. Oh, we already have a block. And we'll go pick a colour. We'll go 235. 5. 25. Which should give us a grey. And we will have... Oh, we've got new ones. Look at this. Woodland camo. Weldless armour. Corrugated armour. Okay, we need to face this east-west. We'll spin it a little bit. Gravity alignment. Reckons that way. I want to face it east-west though. One easy way to fix that. We will point it at the sun. And then we'll put the fire back up this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is 5 going to go in the ground? Okay, we won't put any more on then. Now we'll go back to these. And we're going to put a string of these up in the air. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't think I can build the thing that I want to build next. Well, I don't think we've opened it up yet. What do we have to build? It is a cargo container. So I'm going to have to go and dismantle the little cargo container that's on here a little bit and build it up some. The grinder. Grind it down to the hack point. There we go. And put it in the build queue. Components into production. Motor and a display to go. All components. Now we'll build the build that I want to build, which is conveyor parts. This is the bit we need to put on next. One of those. One of those there. One of those on there. There are now 7. We want to put one of those on the top. And one of those on the end. And put that into the build planner. And shift and middle click to put all the parts into production. Okay, the next things we want to put on here. How many have we got? We've still got lots and lots of blocks left. So we'll put down another couple of rows of blocks. We want to put on here a number 5. Spin it around to face the right way. And a number 6. I can't quite see it. Just going to stand back a bit. Right to face that way. Now we just need to wait for the things to build down here. How much power have we got left? 2 bars, not too bad. I've had it in a worse state before. Oh, this thing over here must be off. Control panel, turn it on. There we go. Some hydrogen back. Looks like we are thirsty. We need to grab one of these bottles of water. Drink one. 12 girders, 2 computers to go. I'm going to need to start to do some digging again here soon. All components successful. Jump across at the same time to get up there. Pull it all up. And there we go, away it spins. I'm going to land down here. And we'll put this one here in the build queue. everything building. Yes, we are about to run out of iron. Well and surely before this is built. So let's come down the hill here a little bit. He looks about good. And let's start a nice little hole heading down here. Or into the stone. There we go, we'll start picking them up. And we're back to terribly large amounts of digging again. And it shouldn't actually take us too long. Might actually put these hydrogen bottles and everything back away. We've got more carry capacity, less trips. We'll grab what we can and go and build some. Well, no power. Some thick fog. Okay, and on to the next bit. Back to drilling again. I think we've still got a little bit here that we can drop. Somewhere down here is a hole. Yes, we're running into the old gravel problem. And what do you do with gravel? You throw it away. Because you only need it pretty much for reactors, but we will need it later when we go to start making paint and so we do need it for the paint. Back up there. Can't quite fit a full inventory in there. One component could not be dumped off. Now they're all done. Pick up the bits we dropped. This is deeper than most mine that you find. Normally it's not down this deep, it's usually only down about 20 metres. That's another part. So we'll go weld up these couple of parts. Which means we're getting pretty close. Motors are made. We're just waiting on computers now. I will take those with us when we go. Wait for all the rest of these computers to make. Four more. Once we have the basic base set up, that'll be it for today. Three more computers, all parts withdrawn. That's the basic assembler built. Make as much on this as I can, and then add it to the build planner. And shift and middle click to put them all into production. Grab a quick charge and change back to the drill. Let's go back down the hole and get some more of this stone. Haven't got it all deposited. Takes a while. seem to have lost some of our sound effects. It's not telling me that my inventory's full. No, now it's all. There's still quite a few things to make there. And we're still on the steel plate section of it. And down for another load. All emptied. Get another load. Really, night time, things are going to start getting very dark here soon. Oh, we're still making steel plates. These items do take a lot of plates. Can I get another load? Eventually we'll get there. Perhaps with our production, if we grab these and put them at the end, we might get our stuff made sooner. That seems to have sped up the process. Let it build there for a second. We're going to have to find something to eat here. We're starting to get a little bit hungry. Stand up. Which one shall we go for? We'll go for a packet of chips. We are going to have to go and start picking up some of these unknown signals, and hopefully some of them will have some food in them, because we're going to starve. One motor and 10 computers to go. We're nearly there. Grab a quick charge while we're waiting. All components withdrawn. Since the starter base built, and now I can actually start processing real iron and deal with rock. And the build process will go a hell of a lot faster now. And there we go. And I'm not sure whether or not we've got enough power going here yet. So how is our turbine? Optimal, only getting 457, which is very nice. Which is enough to run one of these at a time, I think. Yep, you need to have at least 2. Preferably 3. So that's it for today. Next time we'll finish off that one. We'll put another one on the other end, and we'll get started on a buggy, so that we can, with a little tray back on the back, so that we can go around and collect up some of these other materials, and we'll get down into the actual iron instead of mining up stone. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.